Hey friend, welcome back to Biz with Liv. I'm Olivia, your social media coach and creative bestie, and around here we turn simple content into clients, cash, and freedom for business owners. In episode 1, we talked about why content matters. Today, we're answering the question I get all the time. Okay, Olivia, I want to get started, but what do I actually post? You have probably saved hundreds of posts by other creators in your Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok folders, hoping to recreate the most popular trends, and yet somehow you've made zero progress. Every time you turn on your camera to record, you begin to second guess yourself. You keep thinking, should I post this? What should I post? If this sounds like you, you're in the right place. This episode is your content strategy in audio form, so you can stop guessing and start posting on purpose. Now, this is going to be a bit of a longer episode, and that's intentional because I want to help you get started in building a strategy that you can use for the next week, for the next month, for the next 3 months. We're going to create a strategy on how you can lay out your content so that you are set up for success for the next 90 days. So I highly recommend that you listen to this episode when you're in a good position to take down notes. We're going to go through 8 steps. Step number 1, you will define the goal of your content strategy. Step number 2, I will share with you the 4 content pillars that you can follow as you start to brainstorm ideas. Step number 3, you will brainstorm ideas by the pillars that I have given you. Step number 4, you will then match your content to your business goals. Step number 5, you will look at different formats by each platform. Step 6, you will receive plug-and-play prompts that you can start to use today to create content. Step 7, you will create your simple weekly plan. Step 8, you will learn how to repurpose this plan into 30-day content calendar. And then finally, I will give you a quick recap checklist to tie it all together. All right, let's get right into it. Again, quick reminder, I hope you have a pen and paper. We are going to be learning a lot. So without further ado, let's get started. Step 1, defining the goal of your content strategy. At this point, you know who you're talking to and how you help them. You're a business owner, so you've had experience coming up with strategy for your business. It's the same with social media. In this part of the episode, we're going to turn that clarity into a simple system that you can repeat. So the goal is simple. You want to use your content to, 1, attract the right people. Not just go viral, you want to attract the right people. 2, you want to build trust with them over time. And 3, you want to gently move them toward becoming customers. We're not making content just to be busy, just to go viral, just to be seen. We're making content that has a job inside your business. And that brings us to the second step for today's episode, which is defining your 4 content pillars. Instead of waking up and wondering, what should I post today? We're going to use 4 content pillars. These are like the 4 main categories that your content rotates through. And your 4 pillars are 1, educate. In this pillar, you teach your audience something useful. Pillar number 2, entertain or relate. In this pillar, you show personality and shared experiences. Pillar number 3, evidence. You prove you can deliver results. And then pillar number 4, engage. You spark conversation and connection in your niche. You'll use these pillars on every platform: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, email. The format may change, but the purpose doesn't. Let's do a deep dive on each pillar. Educate. The whole point of the educational pillar is to show you know your stuff. It's you're building credibility. All right, so remember I started this by saying that the goal of content is you attract the right people, you build trust with them over time, and then you gently move them toward becoming customers. As you're educating your audience, you're really starting to build that trust. Educational content answers your audience's questions, it solves their problems, and it positions you as a helpful expert. These types of content could be anything from quick tips, how-tos, mini tutorials. So you'll see on-screen captions like 3 mistakes that blank make when they try to blank, or here's the process that I use to accomplish X result. For example, if you are a product brand, let's just use a skincare company, you might make content like how to build a simple nighttime routine for dry skin. So guess what? The people watching your videos are also your target customers. So this pillar makes your audience think, wow, I always learn something from them. The second pillar is entertain or relate. And the point of this pillar, it's not to be a comedian, but it's to show that you're human. You are building that personal connection. People follow people they like and relate to. So this pillar might look like the most popular format on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Day in the life, a day in the life of running your business, a day in the life as a fitness coach, a day in the life as a law student, a day in the life as, I don't know, somebody training for the Olympics, an Olympics medalist or something like that, right? Day in the life content is the easiest way to build connection because you're just showing people behind the scenes of what your life looks like. Another example of this type of content is honest or funny takes about your niche. So just saying something maybe a little bit controversial or just something that your audience might not really know because they're on the other side of it. I actually find this kind of content really funny. I love it. Behind the scenes of how you create, pack, or deliver your products, like think of this as super raw videos where some creators will literally just put the camera to the side, forget about it, and then just let it run for a full hour, and then they speed it up. And people just see you working. You don't even have to say a single thing, but they just get to see you working and see what it's like to kind of, be a fly on the wall. That type of content is very good. Again, I want to reinforce this message because people think that social media is all about being the most entertaining person in the room. It is not. You do not have to be a comedian. Entertaining can simply mean real, honest, and relatable content. This is the content where people say, I feel so seen, or OMG, this is so me. This is why I absolutely love the type of content where people just turn the camera on and do zero edits. Like, I'll just give you a quick example because I recently had 2 kids, so this is top of mind for me. Those gender reveal videos, I think those are the most real videos you'll see on the internet. It's always amazing to see the reactions of the parents. That's a perfect example of what I mean. It's just you put the camera there, you turn it on, and you just let it do its thing, and you don't have to do complicated edits. You're just showing people the authentic element. Okay, or the authentic moment. Pillar number 3, evidence. With this pillar, you prove it works. Evidence content answers the question, can you really help me? So this might include before and after photos or screenshots, testimonials, client quotes, short case studies, how we helped X go from A to B, customer photos, or UGC using your product. And if you don't know what UGC means, I'll just explain that real quick. UGC stands for user-generated content. It's a popular trend where companies will send free products to, it used to be influencers, but really nowadays they send products to anybody who has a social media presence. And the expectation is that you will say something about the product online. You might integrate the product into your existing content in a natural way, like a day in the life vlog or get ready with me, or you could make a standalone product review unboxing video. I have done UGC content for brands. That's something I'm very familiar with, and I think it's truly one of the best ways to get your brands out there, but it's just one way to get your brand out there. There are many other ways. All right, so with evidence content, you want your audience thinking, they've done this before, they can help me too. This pillar quietly handles trust and proof, so selling feels lighter. The 4th pillar, engage. The purpose of this pillar is to start a conversation. Engagement content invites your audience to respond. This might be polls like, which problem do you struggle with more? It could be this or that style post. Actually, these types of posts were really trending back in, I think it was 2020 or 2021. I just remember those this or that trend. It was mega trending for such a long time. But it's perfect, right? It really just forces people to choose a side. And so it's an easy way for them to leave a comment. Another example is simple questions like, what's your biggest struggle with topic X right now? And then you list out a bunch of options. Comment keyword and I'll send you blank. So you probably seen this on Instagram. It's insane how much engagement these types of posts draw, because the people that create this post, they have automated the replies. And so the comment section is always just exploding. That's a really good way to do engagement content. Okay, so with the engage pillar, this helps the algorithm see your content as interactive and turns your audience from silent watchers into an actual community. Amazing. We have 4 pillars right now. We have educate, entertain/relate, evidence, and finally engage. Here's your first quick exercise. Now remember I said we're going to be doing I'm going to be talking, but you'll also be doing some work. This is the point in which it's your turn to do some work. So what I want you to do is grab your notebook, or maybe you can use your notes app on your phone and write the 4 headings that we've already talked about: educate, entertain/relate, evidence, and engage. Under each pillar, brainstorm at least 5 ideas for your specific business. Don't overthink it. Bullet points are fine. By the end, you'll already have 20 post ideas that actually match your brand and your offers. You can pause the episode at this point and come back, or just make a note to do it after. All right, so I'm going to give you a second. Go ahead and hit the pause, but please remember to come back. I hope that exercise was helpful, and at this point, you should have 20 post ideas. So before I go on, I just want to take a quick second and give you a round of applause. You have made the first step towards creating your content strategy, and you're making good progress. You're really far beyond what most creators have at this point. So with that being said, let's jump right into step number 4. Match your content to your business goals. Now, this is a question for you. Before I can help you connect your content to your business goals, you have to take a second and reflect and answer this question. What is the main focus of your business right now? Is your main focus awareness? You want more people finding you. Is your main focus leads and inquiries? You want more people reaching out or joining your list. Is your main focus sales? You want more purchases or booked clients? Or is your main focus loyalty? You want deeper connection with existing customers. How you progress at this point of your content strategy exercise will depend on what you pick as your main focus. If your main goal is awareness, you'd want to lean more on the educate and entertain/relate pillars. So you'll use broader topics that many people in your niche can relate to. If your main goal is leads and inquiries, you'll want to lean more on the educate plus evidence pillars. So you'll need to add clear call to actions in your posts like DM me X or link in bio to apply. If your main goal is sales, you'll want to lean on evidence and engage posts. So you'll share offer-focused posts, FAQs, and limited time promos. Overall, you still want to use all 4 pillars, but you'll just emphasize some more than others. This can change with time. Maybe in this stage of your business, you just want awareness. You want people to know that you exist, right? But maybe 2 to 3 years from now, you have a very established business and your goals change. Therefore, your content strategy will also change. Okay, let's get those notebooks out one more time. We have another small exercise that I want you to do. And the purpose of this exercise is to create the backbone of your content plan. We're going to build off this backbone until eventually we have a 30-day content calendar, but it all starts here. So the question that I have for you is, how many times per week do you want to post across each pillar? I'm going to give you an example. So let's say that your focus is leads. This is a sample backbone that you can use as a starting point and adjust it as needed, depending on whichever pillar you choose and also your capacity to create content. Okay, so assuming your focus is leads, you might say, under the educate pillar, I commit to sharing 2 posts per week. Under the evidence pillar, I commit to sharing 2 posts per week. Under the entertain/relate pillar, I commit to sharing 1 post per week. And under the engage pillar, I commit to sharing 1 post per week. So in total, you're having 6 posts, but you're really spending more time under the educational and evidence pillars. I want you to take a second and create your own version of this so that it forms the backbone of your content pillar. Pause this episode and please feel free to come back whenever you're done. Welcome back. We're now in step 5, formats by platform. Let's talk about formats so you don't overthink every platform. You don't need to do everything everywhere. Instead, pick a primary format for each platform and a simple support format. For example, on Instagram, you might say, my primary formats will be Reels and carousels. My support format will be stories for behind the scenes and quick updates. For YouTube, you might say, my primary format is YouTube Shorts and the occasional long-form video. My support format is community posts, such as polls and questions. On TikTok, you might say my primary format is short, fast-paced videos, and my support format will be reply to comments with new videos. So a quick chit chat here. I want you to take any idea from your pillars and ask, could this be a 30 to 45 second short form video? Or could this be a simple carousel with a hook on slide 1 and then tips on slides 2 to 5 and then a call to action on the last slide? Or could this be a story sequence in 3 to 5 frames? You want to start with a format that feels easiest and commit to that first, and then you can always layer on more later. All right, so I'm going to go through this one more time, just high level. You do not want to post everything everywhere. You want to pick a primary format for each platform and a simple support format. And so in this part of the episode, I want you to pause once again, look through your list and ask yourself, for the 20 ideas I've come up with, could this be a 30 to 45 second short form video? Could this be a simple carousel for Instagram? Could this be a story sequence? What's the best way to convey the idea that I've laid out? So once more, please pause the podcast, reflect on your list, and write your notes on the side of each idea. Step 6, plug and play prompts. And this is really helpful if you were struggling to come up with ideas. You can just borrow some of mine, but also you know your niche the best. So speaking from your own experience is always better. All right, let's get into it. Educate pillar. I'm going to share with you 4 ideas. 1, 3 mistakes blank make when they try to blank. Blank 1 is your audience, blank 2 is result. 2, if you're a blank and you struggle with blank, do this instead. Blank 1 is who, blank 2 is pain. 3, don't do this when you blank, do this instead. The blank is a task. 4, here's the exact process I use to blank. Blank being result, accomplish result X. Entertain/relate pillar. POV, my most favorite format is POV. Okay, I digress. Let's go back. POV, you're a blank trying to blank in 2026. Blank 1 is who, blank 2 is task. 2, things I wish more blank would stop doing. So the blank is who and specifically your target audience. Idea 3, what people think my job is versus what it actually is. 4, if you've ever blank, this one's for you. Blank is relatable situation. All right. Let's go into evidence sample ideas. One, client story. How blank went from blank to blank. Blank 1 is before, blank 2 is after. So, blank 1 is your anonymous client, and then the second blank is before, third blank is after. So I'll just give you a quick example since I may have made this confusing. How my client went from X weight to Y weight. That's a popular one for fitness coaches. Okay, 2, what happened when we blank for a client? The blank being implemented your process. 3, this is what working with us actually looks like. So here you're going to share behind the scenes type content. 4, outcomes our clients see after blank being time period. Engage content ideas. Let's jump right into it. 1, which one describes you more right now, A or B? This is really good for a poll. Be honest. I love the be honest type post. It's so funny. But yes, I digress. Be honest, colon. What's your biggest struggle with blank? And the blank is a topic. 3, if I created a free resource on blank, would you want it? Comment yes. And the yes is in caps lock. And the blank I mentioned is a topic. So if I created a free resource on topic X, would you want it? Comment yes. 4, drop your business type below and I'll give you one content idea. Oh my goodness, I love this type of question because it's so general and invites so many people to just throw all their problems out there in the comment section, which is just perfect research for an entrepreneur. You can use that to really think about the pain points that your target audience faces and how you can solve those pain points. Okay, so just FYI, in case you missed any of this, because I do share a lot of information in this podcast, everything I share today is part of a larger playbook, right? I put together this playbook from scratch. It has 11 chapters of everything you need to know about social media marketing from the standpoint of a business. And it lays out everything I said. This is just one chapter that we're going through. And I'm not even done with it, but I just had to stop the episode real quick and say this, that so if you have missed writing down any point, or maybe you just want a little bit more clarity on anything I've said, this is all in a playbook. And I'm going to put a link to the playbook in the description section of this video or the show notes. You can buy this playbook. I promise you there is so much good juice in there, so much good value. You're going to find that the playbook, you can implement it almost right away and start seeing results in just a few days. So everything we're discussing is straight from there. All right. Okay. So as I mentioned, there's so many good plug and play prompts. We've talked about some of them, and with each plug and play prompt, you can turn each plug and play prompt that I've shared into a reel or a short, a carousel, a story poll, or even an email, right? You think about how is the best way to convey the information you have and get it across to your audience. Now, I want those notebooks to come out one more time because we're doing another exercise. I want you to turn 4 prompts into draft posts. So this prompts could be from the list I shared with you, my sample ideas, but it could also be one that you came up with yourself when we did the brainstorming exercise. So I want you to pick one prompt from each pillar and quickly draft the following 4 posts. Post number 1 will fall under educate pillar. So I want you to come up with a rough caption or script for that post. Post number 2 will fall under entertain pillar, and I want you to come up with an idea for a reel or a short. Post number 3 will fall under the evidence pillar. For this post, I want you to find a screenshot or a client story that you will share with your audience. Post number 4 will fall under engage pillar, and I want you to think about a question you'll ask your audience. So by the end of this exercise, you will have drafted at least 4 posts. Once again, you can pause this episode, work on this exercise, and come back when you're ready for step 7. For step 7, we will create your simple weekly plan. You don't need a fancy color-coded calendar. You just need a repeatable weekly rhythm. Here's an example from my 5-post week. Monday, educate. That could be a video or carousel. Tuesday, engage could be a question or a poll. Wednesday, evidence could be testimonial or mini case study. Thursday, educate. This could be a quick tip video. And then Friday, entertain/relate. This could be behind the scenes or day in the life. You can adjust the days or number of posts, but having slots removes decision fatigue. I want you to do another exercise, and this is to create your weekly skeleton. So take your notebook, and there are two things we'll do. First, I want you to decide how many times you can realistically post for the next 30 days. Is it 3 times a week? Is it 4 times a week? Or is it 5 times a week? Second, I want you to assign pillars to days. For example, day 1, educate. Day 2, evidence. Day 3, engage. Day 4, entertain/relate. Day 5, educate. All right? Let me just clarify real quick. So if you decide you're going to post 3 times a week, then you'll focus on day 1, educate. Day 2, evidence. Day 3, engage. If you decide 4 times a week, let's throw in another pillar for day 4, which could be entertain/relate. That's optional pillar. And then let's say you say you're going to post 5 times a week, then you'll say, all right, then I want to do educate pillar twice. So in addition to using educate pillar on day 1, you also have the educate pillar on day 5. Okay, I hope that was clear. So that's how to think about it. You come up with how many times per week you can realistically post, and then you assign pillars to each day. And that becomes your week 1 template. You reuse and slightly tweak it each week. We are flying. Okay, so pause, come up with your week 1 template. This should be a quick exercise, and then we're going into step 8, which is repurposing and 30-day plan. Remember, one idea can become multiple posts. For example, let's take the prompt, 3 mistakes small businesses make on social media. Post number 1 would be a short form video of you talking through the 3 mistakes. So this is just direct to camera, no fancy edits, just you and your selfie video. Number 2, a carousel. So you create multiple slides, and each slide is 1 mistake plus the fix. Remember to add a hook and a call to action. So technically, you might end up with at least 5 slides. The third post would be a story, 1 frame per mistake with a poll. Have you made this mistake? Yes or no? The fourth post would be an email, which is an expanded version to your list. So with email, you have more space to really go into detail. A new rule for you, if a piece of content performs well, give it at least 2 more lives in other formats or on other platforms. Let's turn what we have into a simple 30-day plan. This is where all these exercises you've been doing will just all come together to give you a guide that you can follow for the next month. All right, so 1, choose your posting frequency. For example, let's say you've decided you want 4 posts per week. Amazing. 2, use your weekly skeleton to decide which pillar goes where. You did that in the last exercise. 3, pull ideas from your 5-pillar brainstorm and plug them into each slot. You already had so many ideas. I just recommend choosing your absolute best for the first week. 4, decide which ones will be reels, carousels, or stories. All right, so this is more like a format, right? Which one fits into which format? 5, now this is the fun part. You've come up with a strategy and it's time to execute. Quick caveat, most creators tend to create 1 post at a time, and that's a big mistake. I recommend batch creating content. You already have your 30-day game plan. In this step, I want you to batch create the first week's worth of content. I hope today's episode has shown you that you don't need a perfect plan. You need a good enough plan you actually follow. Before we close, here's your mental checklist. 1, do you have 4 content pillars with at least 5 ideas each? 2, have you matched your pillars to your primary business goal? 3, have you chosen your main formats for each platform? 4, do you have a simple weekly posting skeleton? And 5, do you have at least 7 days of content roughly drafted? If your answer is yes, you don't just have ideas anymore. you have a content strategy. If you're listening and thinking, Olivia, this is exactly what I needed, but I'd love to see this laid out step by step, I have something for you. I mentioned previously that the lessons I shared in this episode are pulled directly from my social media playbook. In fact, the entire playbook has 11 chapters and breaks down everything you need to win social media. I wrote this playbook because I saw small business owners struggling, tired of posting and praying the algorithm picks up your post and makes you go viral. I saw solopreneurs who are desperately trying to get leads but dealing with the burnout from 24/7 content creation. I wrote this playbook because so many of you coaches and content creators are ready to turn social media posting into revenue. This playbook will give you a system that scales without hiring a full-time team. So if you're done posting randomly and ready to post strategically, grab your copy of the playbook. To do that, tap the link down below and read more. I'm really excited for you to start taking social media seriously and to see the opportunities that social media can unlock, not just for you, but for every member of your family. If this episode helped you finally see what to post and why it matters, I'd love it if you hit follow or subscribe and share this episode with another business owner who's stuck saying, I don't know what to post. I'm Olivia, this is Biz with Liv, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.